Alright, Sunday afternoon over here at the Cranky Motorsports home base. What I did yesterday was actually rearranged my garage. This is the regular car overhead door side of my garage. I put several of the projects that just need a few things to be finished in here. So way in the back over there is the red Roper. That's the Mongrel 3. This is the C&B Special. This is my orange 68 that I stuck a Tecumseh in that I still have to finish just wiring and a belt and a few other things. And this is my 69 Suburban 12 that has the 10 horse brand new diesel in it. This one needs a drive pulley put on it, drive belt put on it, and just a few odds and ends, swap the back wheels and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and do some work in here, see if I can't get a couple of these driving around. Like I said, this one requires very little. The C&B Special requires very little. This guy needs some wiring and a coil and stuff, so that one, maybe I'll get to it today, but I just have all these projects that are so close to completion that I just want to see if I can get a few of them done. So I'm going to go ahead and put you guys in time lapse and see how much work I can get done. So what I'm trying to work on now is hooking up the throttle on this. I got my throttle cable nice and freed up with some WD-40. This particular tractor, the motor that's on this one, the all-power diesel, and a lot of the other ones actually have, hold on, let me see if I can flip my phone here without messing the video up. How does this thing work? There we go. This way. So these have a nice throttle setup on them. You can't see it too well, but basically your throttle cable comes in right, you can't see anything. Your throttle cable comes in here, and this adjuster goes down and it catches this guy here, which allows the throttle to go back and forth. Now, for some reason, the springs on this guy feel like they fell out, so the return spring on this isn't very good, which is why you want to keep a little tension on this guy. But really, when you get up here in the top end of your throttle, that's where the governor's pulling back against it, so that's where you really need to pay attention. But this is a nice cable stop on the end here, and then it goes into this barrel, so I get some adjustment out of it. So let me flip my camera back. Sorry for that, you guys are probably getting dizzy. I'm going to go ahead and try to hook this up. I don't really have a great place to stick my camera to do this, so I'll do my best and see if I can get this thing hooked up. Alright. So it's pretty simple. What I do want to do, I need a wrench to loosen that adjustment barrel up. It's got two jam nuts on it. And I think it's a 10 mil. Yep, 10 millimeter metric, whatever. I suppose most things, even in the US, are metric now, cars. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to thread this thing pretty much 3/4 of the way down, if not almost all the way down, so that I have some adjustment to loosen it back up and put the cable tension where I need it. You basically need adjustment going up, not so much going down necessarily, because you start off with it in a good spot. Alright, so my throttle cable, I'm just going to kind of loosely route it where I need it to go. Stick it in that hole in the adjuster barrel. Normally what I do with these is actually use a bicycle cable. I'll take the throttle lever apart and use a bicycle cable instead of the stiff factory throttle cable. In this particular case, this throttle cable's in good enough shape. I think it'll work. Even with that pretty extreme bend on it, it still works perfectly fine. And I don't know how well you can see it, but Probably not at all. There's a pretty good tail down here, so even when the throttle cable's all the way down, I still have plenty of adjustment here. What I'm trying to do is make it so when the throttle cable is all the way down at idle, it'll actually shut the tractor off when I'm not using it. So I'm going to go ahead and hook this thing back up and come back in a minute because my kids found a tick in their playset. So I think I got my throttle control hooked up right on this thing. I'm going to go ahead and test it, obviously by starting the tractor. This will be the second time this tractor's ever run since I bought this motor. Let me get all the crap off of the footboards here. It does have a drive belt in it. You guys saw me put that in. I had to go with an 82. It's supposed to have an 81 in this machine, but I'm guessing because where the engine sits in the frame, it must sit a little bit further forward. I did measure it when I put the PTO and everything in from a couple different places, from this bolt to the center of the crankshaft. Should be about the same as at the Tecumseh, but for whatever reason it does require an 82-inch belt. And I mean, I probably could have gotten the 81 in. The 82 is about halfway through the adjustment, so it'll probably stretch to a point where at some point I'm going to run out of adjustment on it. But for the time being, has an 82. Tractor's in neutral. Neutral on the transmission. Let me see how this guy runs. Get all this other crap out of the way. So put the throttle about halfway up. Decompression lever down. Make sure the fuel's on. Ooh, that's a stiff fuel shutoff. And let's see if it fires up this time. It should. definitely revs up higher than the other ones I have. Well, there you have it. I got at least one tractor done. I got the drive belt on, I got the throttle set up and everything like that, so happy about that. The hood still doesn't close perfectly. The washers on the front of it are in the wrong place, so it's real tight, and the air cleaner is still not allowing it to close 100% of the way over here. I'm still not 100% certain if I'm going to leave that air setup on there. I might, just because it's already done, and honestly, this hood's kind of beat up anyway, but I mean, everything rubs over here. The pipe rubs the grill. I mean, these fins on it, and the fins are broken anyway. The bottom part of it's missing. But I really don't like stuff rubbing. So, I don't know. I might do something different with the air intake. I'm not sure yet. But anyway, so that's up and running. Drives really good. The brakes work. The clutch is nice. So this one, you know, other than a few cosmetic things, I might repaint the engine orange, repaint the air cleaner orange if I decide to keep that one on there. I do like it. I might... Maybe I'll just take a hammer and clearance, you know, the pipe quite a bit to make it fit. So that's that guy. Didn't do anything to the rest of those. Oh, no, I did. I got the hood for the roper done. You guys saw me painting that. Or if not, I'll stitch it in here, but it's not great. This particular hood had a couple of holes drilled in the top, and you can see all these bumps here. You don't see that kind of stuff until after you paint it sometimes, but, I mean... It's as good as the rest of the tractor's paint job. I mean, as nice as this thing comes across in film, it's still, you know, it's a 10-footer. I mean, it's going to look terrific when it gets out in the daylight and I'm driving the thing around. But it's a good machine. Runs good. I think I'm going to leave the stack, even as big as it is, just because it sounds really good and it keeps the exhaust away from your head. And I haven't done anything to that tractor yet. So, the only other thing I really got done today was... painting the grills for my kids' tractors. So since my son decided he wanted a red tractor instead of giving him that teal SS12, I decided I'm going to put 67, 66 style grills on both of their machines. So I wire wheeled the crap out of both of these, sanded them down, and painted them. So I now have two white, very white, 66/67 grills. Jake's hood is already painted white. I'm going to do something cool on it because they're so into Mario stuff right now and Mario Kart. I'm actually going to do both of their tractors with racing stripes down the hood. And for Emma's, I'm going to get the Princess Peach logo on the hood. And for Jake's, I'm going to get the Mario Big M decal and put it on the hood. I'm either going to paint it by hand, or I'll probably try to find the decals, like a 6-inch round decal, to put in the middle of the racing stripes to make it kind of cool. And then I'm going to put a solid filler panel in both of these and probably either paint their names on it or their nicknames. Emma, I call her my little pumpkin, so maybe I'll have like some scroll work little pumpkin in the front of that, or Princess Pumpkin or something to go along with the Princess Peach theme. And then Jake's, I don't know. I mean, he likes Mario, so maybe I'll put Mario Jake or Jake Mario or something in the front of it. We'll see, but they're going to be cool. And they don't know that I'm doing that yet, so I'm trying not to say anything about that. So that's going to be the end of the video for today. I have a beef roast going in my smoker down there, right in that. So my smoker slash pellet grill, I have like a 2-pound beef roast that's been cooking for the last 5 hours, so that's going to be delicious. So I'm going to go slice that thing up and have dinner. Thanks for watching Cranky Motorsports. Have a great day. Make sure you keep tractoring, keep working on stuff, get out there. Like the guys at Roadkill say, don't make it right, just make it run. Go out and have some fun, and then make it right later if you like it. My stuff, none of it's perfect. I don't really care because I use it all. So have a great day. Keep watching.